So coral reefs are an underwater ecosystem, and as a matter of fact, they're considered the most diverse ecosystem in the planet, which means that they have the most diversity of species that live in coral reefs. Their main component, the main species that lives there, are corals, and that's how coral reefs formed by coral polyps who make up corals, and that's the main foundation of a coral reef ecosystem. Coral reefs are usually found in clear water and they require salt water in order to form. And their optimum temperature is usually below 18 degrees Celsius, and they're found 30 degrees north or south of the equator because the zooxanthellae need to have sunlight. And in case you don't know what the zooxanthellae are, it's a type of algae that lives inside the coral polyps and they form a mutualistic relationship, but we'll talk about that later. Producers are any organisms that contains the most energy in a food web or food chain. Primary producers in a coral reef ecosystem include plankton, seaweed, seagrasses, algae, and zooxanthellae. All of these organisms are photosynthetic organisms, meaning that they obtain their energy from the sun and they convert that energy into chemical energy for other smaller organisms to feed on. And that's how the energy is transmitted from organisms to organisms in the coral reef ecosystem.
Symbiotic relationships are relationships between two or more organisms where either organism benefits. The most beneficial example of this is the relationship between coral and zooxanthellae. Corals are colonies of coral polyps. Coral polyps and zooxanthellae depend on each other for food and shelter. The zooxanthellae, a photosynthetic algae, provides food for the coral polyps that allows them to grow into these vast colonies that make up coral reefs. And in return, the coral polyps provide the algae with a home. This is mutualism because both organisms benefit from this relationship. Sponges are shelter to smaller organisms such as shrimp and crabs, and their symbiotic relationship is commensal because one organism benefits and the other is not harmed. Another symbiotic relationship is between the starfish and worms. The sea star eats the worms, which live inside the corals, and form part of their skeleton. When eaten, they cause the coral to lose part of their skeleton and die. This is a parasitic relationship because one organism, the starfish, benefits while the other, the worm, is harmed.
In any ecosystem, predators tend to be the top organisms in a food web. In a coral reef's ecosystem, one of the top predators include sharks. A predator-prey example in coral reefs is the one with the tiger shark and green sea turtle.
The tiger shark is an example of the coral reef's keystone species. Keystone species is a species in an ecosystem that keeps the ecosystem in balance. The shark keeps the coral reef ecosystem in balance because of its vast eating habits. Sharks usually eat the secondary consumers of the reefs along with the sea turtles. If the secondary consumers weren't eaten, then they would uncontrollably eat the primary consumers, who have the important task of grazing and keeping the sediment from smothering the corals and killing them.